منان لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله Muhammad is the messenger Allah is our return لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله Muhammad is the messenger Allah is our return لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأصلي وأسلم على خير خلقه سيدنا ونبينا مصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Viewers, welcome to Islam and Life on GTV Live. My name is Abdul Fattah Yusuf, and today we're going to look at the Islamic perspective on capping or hijama in Arabic. Quite often Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us so many things that we have in the Quran, but unfortunately Muslims in general have not been able to make use of some of this. And today we're going to look at the Islamic perspective on hijama. My guest today is Brother Nasir Idriss, who is from the Islamic Hijama Clinic, Ghana. My brother, welcome.
Thank you.
How is work?
Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. Can you tell us briefly, generally, in terms of medicine, when somebody is sick, how would you seek for, how do you call it, cure, in terms of is it going to be hospital, is it going to be how in the first place?
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala ashraf al-anbiya wa imam al-mursalin Mustafa Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala ahlihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask his rahmah on our noble Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his household, the companions, and those who follow him on the righteous path. May Allah make us among them. Alhamdulillah. Before I come to that question, I'll say Islam has contributed to 60 to 70% of the world medicine. If you go into many departments, being it surgery, being it psychiatrics, Islam has helped a lot. Students who are studying medicine are told that this is coming from your religion. But unfortunately, as you said, Muslims are negligent and they are forgotten and they've abandoned it, and it has fallen in the wrong hands and they've abused it. So instead of getting benefit from it, we now get side effects from those. But alhamdulillah, we are trying to revive this, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, Islamic aspect of medicine, when someone is sick, Islam has drawn a plan. Islam has drawn a plan for a person who is sick. First, you seek refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the shayateen, and but it may be it's a spiritual issue. Secondly, you see to what Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself has used to cure himself, and he has recommended others to use, like the use of honey, the use of zamzam water, habbat sauda, that's a black seed, zaytun, that's a olive, and a lot of this, and hijama, that's capping, is part of. Actually, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he came to Makkah and Medina, he made the people already they are into healing. They are human beings. Definitely will be sick.
Of course.
So they have their own way of healing. Some of which Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not condemn. Some of which he condemned. Some of which he said this cannot never be a cure, because Allah will not put a cure in death. Because some were using urine as source of medicine, as source of cure. Some were using physics. Some were using alcohol. Some were using pig fat. Rasulullah, some of said these are deaths that Allah will never put healing in this thing. So he condemned some and he recommended some, and some he beautified it. One of them is hijama. It's a capping. We are going to inshallah talk about it into details. Rasulullah made them doing hijama already. Hijama was there long before civilization.
So capping or hijama, what is it?
Hijama is an Arabic word which means sucking, to suck, or to reduce in size. English we call it cupping. It's a therapy. So it's cupping therapy. It's a process of using suitable vessels like cups with a glass or horns to draw blood from specific points on the human body.
That are not useful, or that
This
helpful
blood
to the
are
body.
just beneath the skin.
Okay.
This blood is just beneath the skin. It's not in the veins.
Oh, okay.
There's a vast difference between hijama or cupping and blood donation,
Oh, okay.
which inshallah we'll be talking about it very soon. Hijama is a way of treating women. It's a treatment course, mashallah, you use to treat yourself. And hijama can be done to a person whether he's sick or not.
Oh, okay.
If he's sick, then that's a cure. If not sick, then that's prevention. So with hijama, the process is very simple. That Rasulullah recommended it several times. He himself, the ulama have come to an agreement that Rasul did hijama on his body parts. Places they put in the cups before they were using horns. Places they put in the, some ulama say it is 11, some say it is 9. Whereas 11 or 9, it shows that Rasul did
Any
something.
part of the body.
Yes.
Can
Any
it be
part
on
of
the
the body. Yeah, we do hijama on the head for headache, migraine, pressure. Because many people with blood pressure experience headache. So it is assumed a lot of blood comes to the head, then it feels headache. With hijama, alhamdulillah, you draw this blood and mashallah, the person will feel the head is very light and the pressure will also come down, inshallah.
So, how important is this in our society, our community? Or what I'm trying to say is that what would be the effect of a person who ignores or who has never known hijama and has not done it before?
Hijama, when you are talking of hijama, let's leave the religious aspect, and just come to logic. Hijama will be termed as the changing of an oil of a machine, being it a car, being it a motor. You see the mechanism behind these machines. If you try to ignore the changing of oil, you ask those who try to ignore this, and it end up you paying double of what you have.
Total breakdown.
Because you should have you can buy oil maybe 20 cedi, you end up using 200 Ghana cedi to rectify this thing, this simple thing, because it will break the machine down. And this is iron. It doesn't even accept this debt. And there's up to now, after the discovery of machine engine was okay, they've never invented any liquid that you said this oil is dirty, put this liquid in it, it will remove the dirt and leave the oil. He said, take everything out, put a new oil. Our system, we breathe in, we breathe out, we eat food, we take water. Part of these things have toxin and other things, stress, you know. And after every 4 months, our cells, whether being red black cells, whether it is white the blood cells, they die off. So they become like toxic in the system, which the system has a way, a mechanism of rejecting it, extracting it from the blood itself, and then putting it beneath the skin. If there should be an outlet, that's where it will just flow, but there's no outlet. That's where the women are having an advantage over us, but they menstruate. So a little of this blood comes out. Before, we heard our fathers saying women live longer than men. And it is a fact, because science have proven that if a woman had a disease, infection, the day a man also have the same infection, the symptoms of the man will start showing up while the woman is
not showing any signs.
Yes, because she's bleeding. The whole month, year, she'll bleed 12 times. And every month she bleeds 7 days. And you, nothing happens to you. This blood is in you. These viruses are multiplying. They are speeding up because they have this acidic environment that they multiply. So with the use of hijama, Rasulullah, the Prophet recommended hijama because he knew men don't have any alternative. So this is our alternative of extracting this toxic blood that lies beneath the skin, so that we also have the advantage as the women. But because now both the women and the women, we eat everything, we don't care about our health, so we all like like the women, like the men. We are all sick. So with the hijama, it helps. Before, the ulama have agreed that you do hijama once a year for prevention. If you are sick, there is a treatment plan. They put it on. It may be 3 times, it may be 5 times, it may be 7 times, depending on the disease and how chronic it is, and the situation, you yourself, your health, how strong are you to do the hijama, they plan for you. But when you're not sick, you do it once a year. That was before. But later they discovered that because of environmental pollution, this our food pollution, these chemicals in the food, so he said do it twice a year. That's every 6 months you do hijama for prevention. And mashallah, those who have adopted this system, hardly they go to hospital. Hardly they go to hospital. Right?
So, would this be a new, in terms of our medical institutions, doctors, because it's not that common that you go to hospitals, and quite often there are some alims who says it's not any other person, it's not everybody at all who can do the hijama. That you have to do some maybe prayers, you have to do some particular supplications to avoid maybe infection and what have you.
You see, we have Islamic hijama. That's the hijama on Islamic aspects.
Okay.
And we have capping, which the general public does it. They do it in their own way. But when you're coming to the Islamic aspect, capping is dealt with both spiritual and physical, whether it was spiritual or medical, I would say. You see, but with the other side, there's nothing like spiritual. So they go into it, do it. But we are guided by the Sunnah, what Rasul has recommended, where to do, how to do, when to do, who is qualified to do, who is not qualified to do. All this is coming from Rasul. We take it from the direct. With the other side, they do it on their own knowledge.
So as we speak, do you have institutions where you can go through training?
Yeah. In this our country?
Yeah.
In this our country, yes. Hijama Clinic GH, I think we are trying to organize, inshallah, very soon, a forum that will advise health practitioners, doctors, nurses that are interested in this therapy. They can learn, inshallah. Later we'll develop. But outside countries like London, Canada, US, they have many branches. They have Hijama Nation, which is a very big school. Wow. Even they do online course. You can be in Ghana here and be trained as a hijama therapist. They give you allowances, they give you your certificate. We have Simply Hijama, which is also a big institution. They also do online, training. Alhamdulillah, with hijama, locally, we don't even know hijama here. With the whites, they know hijama. Both the Muslims and non-Muslims, they know hijama very well. And alhamdulillah, they've adopted it.
Did I wouldn't take health issues seriously? Or?
That's it, my brother.
Or maybe because of the state of our economy, maybe before you intend to go to hospital, definitely you need to have some money.
I will start from saying it is our elders, the ulama.
The leaders.
Yeah, the ulama, the learned people, they should be given this, because they have this knowledge, and they should be able to explain this thing on the member. On the ulama, when you see in the year, you should have at least a month, to explain.
But what you are saying is true. But if an alim has not had the opportunity of practically being examined through this, how can he give the certificate? He will quote it, but how will he have the feel of how it is done?
Yeah, I
don't know whether you agree.
I understand you, but it is in the books. He has read it.
Yes.
You see, when you take even wudu, before you end up, hijama comes in.
Allah.
Yeah, when you take Ramadan, before you end up, hijama comes in, because the question will arise: if someone is fasting and does hijama, is his fasting breaking? So you should know this. So they should know. If I make ablution right now and I do hijama, is my ablution nullified? The answer should be there, yes or no. So you should know what is hijama. If you don't know hijama, how can you answer this question? So they know. But it's like we asked one ulama, he said, I'm not a doctor. It is not about being a doctor. It's about telling the public this is a therapy in Islam. Go look for those who are into it. Go do it and give the virtues, because he wants to know the benefits.
So can you take us? Unfortunately, we should have maybe had some videos so that our viewers will have a clear view of what you are talking about. But maybe descriptively, can you tell us how do you examine somebody who maybe comes to you for treatment?
With the hijama, whether it is for prevention or whether it's for cure, I think the method is the same.
Okay.
Only that if it's for prevention, we have points we call sunnah point. Yes, they are either 11 or 7 or 9. That's for prevention.
Yeah, okay.
You do it to detox your system. Okay. If it's for cure, then it depends on what we are curing. Whether it's diabetes, whether it's hypertension, whether it's cancer, whether it's hepatitis B, whether it is stomach ulcer. It depends on where we place the cap. Sure. But basically it's placing caps. Before it was horns. Now we don't use the horns because we have a lot of diseases that are blood related. And horns are just like bones. The blood can hide. If you even sterilize it, it's not possible. But these caps you are using, unfortunately I did not break some tissue, but they are
specialized cap.
Yes, they are infection free.
Okay.
You know, they use the material that bacteria cannot survive on it. And we sterilize them after using. And some patients, some chronic diseases, we recommend the person gets his own set of caps to do the hijama. Basically, you place these caps through the pump. It's a pump we used to, you know, and the cap will be hold the skin. You can even sleep with it and wake up, it's still there because of the force. And this will be there for about 5 to 10 minutes, gathering the blood under the skin. Because the blood is spread. So with the force of the cap, the blood will come under the caps, and then we take them a small insection. With the hijama, we don't say cutting, because if you say cutting, then the person says, "You're going to cut me?" No, it's small marking, just to make way for the blood. Then we place the cap back, and you see blood flowing. With the blood of hijama, you see the difference between hijama and blood donation is that the blood that coming from blood donation is your blood that you are using to survive, because you are donating to someone. The blood of hijama is toxic blood, and you're going to the dustbin. And hijama blood smells. It looks darker than ordinary blood. Ordinary blood, yes, it have a scent, but not much. Unlike hijama blood. So basically, this is how it's been done. And alhamdulillah, hijama has no side effect. For what we have done for the past 9-10 years, hijama has no side effect.
What I would want you to once again dwell on is largely on your campaign in our communities. How is the community receiving this information?
Alhamdulillah.
Something that is new, it's not known.
With the Muslim, even if it's new to him, we tell him this is recommended by the Prophet, and that's this. He understands it's coming from the Prophet and it's not new. He will tell you he doesn't know. It's not an innovation. But he will not tell you it's a new thing, because since you said the Prophet did it, it's not a new thing. But I don't know. Fine. Now we know. So alhamdulillah, those who have come across hijama, they want to try it. People are not even sick. They are mashallah, they are okay, 90 to 95% okay. But they still want to do hijama because they said they heard it is sunnah. So even if you use hijama therapy to cure and you are not healed instantly, we encourage you by telling you have the reward of practicing the sunnah. We have the reward of trying to revive the forgotten sunnah. Now,
mashallah.
So alhamdulillah, with our community, they are coping, inshallah. But the information is not going far. But alhamdulillah, we're trying to create avenues for that, inshallah. And mashallah, everybody that comes in contact with hijama, sometimes they have doubts, but later they do their own investigation, go online, talk to your alim, and you see that mashallah, you even get more fact than what you heard from us. Now,
historically, or maybe we want to go back to his history, what the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba through the hijama, how they were cured. Are we looking at the spiritual dimension more than the physical, or maybe comparatively, it doesn't actually matter?
With hijama, we look at both the spiritual and the medical aspect, because Rasulullah ﷺ used it both spiritually and medically. There's a history behind. I think it's in this. It's in Buhari. It's a long hadith, but this alim Ibn Qayyim al-Jawzi, who wrote this kitab, At-Tibb al-Nabi, Prophetic Medicine, he brought this history to encourage hijama, by saying hijama was the first thing that the Rasul did when he felt he was being attacked by sorcery. And they did sorcery on the Prophet, and it attacked him by the word of Allah. But before he knew it was sorcery, he was thinking it was this blood that is trying to make his head not, because one of the symptoms was that whatever he does, he said he never did it. What he never did, he said he had done it. Let's assume he went to Nana Aisha, he said, I didn't go to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went to this woman and said, no, I didn't come there.
That's the shadow al-waswas.
You see, so he said, no, I'm trying to forget things, so do hijama for me. Before he was told that no, it was sihr. So Ibn Qayyim Jose said, hijama with ruqya is the best to break spell and remove jinn and ayn and all of you. Alhamdulillah, we've used it. Alhamdulillah, it's working miraculously. Mashallah. Hijama with ruqya is very effective. So even the ulama said those who are doing ruqya without hijama is less effective, because the shaitan, Rasulullah said, shaitan moves in you flows in you like blood. So, and we are talking of blood now. We are extracting blood now. So you give, if you are a jinn, what I say, what is iron, you give it a way of coming out through that small marking. When the blood is flowing, the sihr is breaking. With the Quran recited, and inshallah.
And understand through the ahadith that there are some specialized days that selected, or few days that the Prophet ﷺ has recommended. How true is that?
Yeah, the hadith is authentic. That Rasulullah said, anyone, this hadith is recorded in Tirmizi and Abu Dawud. Sayyidina Umar brought this hadith, said, Rasul said, whoever does hijama on the 17th, 19th and 21st of the lunar month. You see, they use the Islamic calendar. 17th, 19th, the odd numbers, you see, 17th, 19th and 21st. He said it's a cure for every disease. Bi-iznillah.
Not only hijama.
Not only
the hijama, per the hadith you just narrated.
He said if you do hijama on 17th, 19th and 21st, if you do hijama on this day, 3 days, he said it's a cure for every disease. Bi-iznillah.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah,
now,
MashaAllah.
As research went on this thing, recent scientists make research on why did the prophets use these last days of the month? Because the moon has an effect on our blood. Yes. And mashallah, it's very wonderful how this guy knew all this thing. They make research say, wow, the moon has an effect on our blood. When the moon is about to ending, the blood becomes more aggressive. That's where people commit more suicide at the end of the month. Yes, you go, and that's where women become more pregnant, because the blood is boiling. Now, even photosynthesis, this cross, it's happening this time. So when along this time you do hijama, you get the toxic blood to take out. But this doesn't mean you can't do hijama at any time. You can do hijama at any time when it is when it is very serious. A sick person will not wait for this date. Imam Shafi said he himself, this Imam has hypertension. This is what Allah used as a test on him, and he passed away with it. He does hijama at any time, whether it's dawn, whether it's night, because he said, I'm sick. But if you come to him to ask you the days of hijama, he will only tell you 17th, 19th, but he himself does it at any time because he said, I'm sick.
Mashallah, mashallah. All too soon our time. So give you the opportunity to tell us your sentence. Do you have any sentence you have?
Yeah, we have 2 centers as I'm speaking to you, inshallah. Very soon we have one at Kumasi, it's at Medina, Washington, and one at Kaswa, Tuba. Alhamdulillah, we are doing our best to have centers all over the country to help revive this forgotten sunnah.
What do you have for general advice for our viewers, particularly Muslims who are totally ignorant of this hijama?
Hijama, I'll tell them it's a prophetic medicine. So there's no doubt in the therapy. It's very effective in many diseases. Inshallah, we have this testimony of people going through. People who come to our centers actually are people who have already gone to other places, actually taking medication for so many years, and they come and within 2-3 seasons they see changes. So Hijama, there's no doubt. Hijama has no side effect. The only when side effects will start coming when the person doing the hijama is not qualified to do the hijama. He doesn't have the knowledge of hijama. He's doing it because he said Islam says you should do it, and he has taken advantage of that. And people are doing that actually, doing things and hurting people instead of giving them the benefit of hijama. So we advise the public that don't just go into this thing because you heard they say mashallah is sunnah, you just give yourself to anyone, just cut you, put caps. No, don't do this. Make sure you get the qualified practitioners. People are into hijama for about 10 years now, and they are in this country. They are your brothers, they are your sisters. Mashallah, you contact them, inshallah. You get know.
I said your last word, but once again, what about our visiting sheikh coming from Tunisia?
No. I think yes, we want to tell the public that Ben Halima, who has come from Tunisia, is an Rukia expert. I think our branch in Kaswa, we are going to host him. But for now, he's in Kumasi. We're going to Tamale and Yendi. He'll come back to Kumasi. I think 27th he will live in Ghana. So Accra will be. He will spend much of the days in Accra, and we'll be hosting him, inshallah, because we are almost the same. And I'm one of his students, inshallah. So alhamdulillah, those who want to go through this training of Ruqya and Hijama can come to the center, inshallah, whether it's Medina or Kaswa.
Thank you very much. That's Brother Abdul Nasir Idriss, who is from the Hijama Clinic, Ghana, trying to educate and then help the health situation of Ghanaians, not only Muslims, to the general public. So we should be able to at least visit the centers and be able to find out our health status. And it's very important. And myself, inshallah, I'll try and come there and see how the place is.
MashaAllah.
We're so grateful for this evening, and it's been very, very educative. I hope you have been educated, and then possibly, inshallah, the information you had would be useful. My name is Abdul Fattah Bawa Yusuf, and on behalf of the entire team, I say, Assalamu alaikum, take care, and have a blessed weekend. Assalamu alaikum.
Allah, who is Ar-Rahman, who is Al-Mannan. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Muhammad is the messenger, to Allah is our return. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Muhammad is the messenger, to Allah is our return. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. Who is the